What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. And happy birthday, if it's your birthday, because we're celebrating, because we only got a couple more days, Cancer. So, but for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is it's been incredible, Cancer, especially during our birthday season. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. Sidebar, Cancer, I'm changing around the lighting a little bit. I was just like, oh, maybe she'll look different under this lighting. And it's like, man, you're doing great, girl. But I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and what she's going void, of course. Just all those lunar shenanigans. Just so you're all aware. This is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you. Leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Oh. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. There's great energy all around here, Cancer. In Cancer, the moon is going void of course today. The moon's going to be going void of course at about 10:08 in the morning, and that'll be Central Time. And then she'll be moving from Leo into Virgo at about 1:12 in the afternoon. And that about 1:12 in the afternoon. So we're looking at about a 3-hour, 4-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And with the void of course, this is an energy for just really kind of checking in and just seeing where your energies are at, Cancer. What have we been feeling? And have what we've been feeling been because of what's actually going on with us, or is it because of the energies around us? Because we're very sensitive to the energies of others around us too, Cancer, because we feel to such a degree and so often. And it can be difficult sometimes to tell what's yours and what's not, and how we can kind of build off around that stuff. So just just to kind of like get back to that, like almost like the moon, like kind of resetting, with how often she travels through the signs and goes through different phases and things. So just something to think about there, Cancer, when we're in that energy. But also, you may notice that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, in that also people are less likely to make decisions during this time. So just something to pay attention to, Cancer. And then, oh yes, okay, I think that's it with the void, of course. And then the moon, with the moon entering Virgo, because we're going to go ahead and give this day to Virgo. With the moon in Virgo, this is a very good energy if we want to, Virgo is very organized, very detail oriented, very analytical. So we have like a lot of paperwork or any sort of like monotonous or repetitive type of energies that we need to, or any type of task that we need to get done. Virgo energy is great for that. And this could even be too, just even like straightening up around the house there, Cancer, whatever that's looking like. But also, Virgo is a sign of, since they're associated with the sixth house, what part of the aspects is, they focus on their health as well. And this isn't health advice, Cancer, but if we've been wanting to maybe I don't know, work more kind of like a healthier foods into our diet, or if we've been wanting to get back on our fitness, or maybe even tweak our routine, something along those lines. Virgo deals with that energy as well, routines and things. So definitely something to work with as well, Cancer. And also, this is something too, Virgo's a sign of service. And if you've been wanting to maybe volunteer or, anything along those lines, definitely work with this energy. And then you couple that with the waxing crescent phase, which is it's a great energy, Cancer, because this is about setting your intentions, really kind of getting yourself geeked up for what you plan to do for this next lunar cycle, and really get kind of the planning phase down there. Start getting a strategy and things, And if something's telling you to tweak, really trust your intuition. This card, and I like that. This card is associated with our ruler, the High Priestess. Well, I mean, we'll talk about her phase anyway, but you know what I mean, Cancer. And then last few things. The decks are these readings that I do. They're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching. So definitely give them a look out, Cancer. But let's see what your general energy of the day is. Ooh, look at you and your slingshot. You got the 5th card of Aries here, which is the slingshot card. Cancer, have you ever owned a slingshot? I don't think I have. But with this, I don't even know if I've ever used one. But this is a card of tension, strain, sudden, anxiety, pressure, launch, stressed, pull, set in motion, focus, begin, force, change, pulled in opposite directions, ready, aim, fire. And the energy that's coming through here strong, Cancer, is the pulled in opposite directions. And so if for some of you, if we've been in this place of where maybe we've been kind of spread too thin, you know, maybe there's been a lot of stuff going on with the workspace, and then same time we got fires we're putting out at home, and the same times we got, I don't know, friends who are bringing fires to us, and it's just like, where do we zen? when do we get devoid of course? If that's the case, then I do feel like that maybe there may be a need to kind of slow down a little bit, Cancer, because just even thinking about Aries energy. Aries is very passionate energy. You know, when they're ready to start up something, I feel like they're of the cardinal signs. I feel like Aries is the one that really just let's get it going. But sometimes, you know, this could be maybe for some we started up, maybe we're starting up a bunch of maybe too many projects at once, you know, or maybe there's been something, again, where maybe it's like a lot of projects are coming up at work and we've been spread too thin, and this might be where we need to talk with someone. It's just like, hey, these conditions are working, productivities, blah, 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 you know, all that business jargon. But I do feel like it's, if we stay in that energy, Cancer, of being pulled like that for too long, it's, you know, it's just like when you think about a rubber band. If you were to just keep it at its that just stretched all the time, when eventually, you know, when you go to pull it back, it's lost some of that elasticity, you know, and keeping that. And again, not medical advice, but it's like if we keep the body under strain like that, where I feel like there is a healthy amount of, you know, like stress and things, you know, of like pressure that the, you know, for us to like push and be motivated and things. But there's another one we're pushed to extremes and we're like, you know, maybe we're running on like, you know, little sleep or haven't been able to cook ourselves any meals, so maybe we're getting more kind of like quick convenient stuff or whatever that may be, Cancer. You know, it's just we want to pay attention to how our energies are just how where we're putting our energies and how they're being just again just kind of like pulled apart there. But let's get some tarot on this, get some more details, Cancer. And you know, with this Moon and Virgo energy, this is great for getting things in order, you know, especially if things have been feeling a little hectic there, Cancer. You know, kind of analyze, get a list, see where we can adjust. Okay. Oh, we got a whole pocket here, Cancer. Okay. So we have... Interesting, Cancer. Okay, so we have... Let's see, let me get this in order here. All this. Okay, so we have the 2 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, the 10 of Crystals, the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Tower, Cancer. And I feel like some ways we can work with this energy, because this is a lot going on, and I feel like that's what we've been, you know, if you do have a lot going on, Cancer, as far as like, look at this, we got multiple, here's those fires, if you've got multiple towers that we've been dealing with here as of late, you know, I do feel like that if we keep going to that degree, then there's going to lead to this state of burnout here. There's going to lead to where we're just we're just going to be run ragged here, Cancer, and it's going to... It's going to keep us where, because I almost feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's just like if we've been in this, if we've just been stuck in this cycle for a while, there's this energy really here with the 4 of Wands. Has been like just like of checking in, and when was the last time that we nourished ourselves with the 2 of Cups here, you know, because sure, you know, with the 6 of Wands, you know, there's meant to be challenges and things before we get to the state of victory. But I do get to where sometimes we do need a push sometimes to get through things, but there is a balance. I don't feel like that there's this need of extremes, Cancer, where this almost gives me like a sense of like that kind of like work hard, play hard mentality, where I get that in theory. When you think about it, it's just like you're working all the time, and then you take a break for however long. It's like you get into this place of like where you're finally getting comfortable on your vacation, and then you got to come back here soon, and then you got to take a vacation from your vacation. Everything feels rushed, and I feel like it's more so finding a state of ease. Maybe letting go of. Because, I feel like, with our energies, Cancer, we are the types that when we put our all, we can put our all into something, especially if this is like, especially I feel like if it's something that if it's affecting our security in some sort of aspect. And I feel that that's where there's no problem with that, keeping that foundation and things. I just feel that if we it's like if it's like letting go of those extremes. And I feel like that's the change that's needing to happen with this tower. It doesn't even really feel. I feel like towers could happen, and again, not to scare you, Cancer, but I feel like towers could happen if we keep kind of like pushing ourselves. I almost more so feel like it would lead to like Hanged Man situation, where it's just like how much are we willing to sacrifice to a situation before, to our detriment, before we kind of switch things up and start really kind of addressing these ways of just ways of thinking and maybe of operating here, Cancer. Because it gives me kind of like a it almost gives me like that person who would always just like when we need to show like if someone calls off, like you're the first person that they think to call, and because like, oh, Cancer always say yes. And it's just like it's okay to not be like, no, I'm beat today. This is Venus and Cancer. It's just like, what, today we're empressing. Like, don't hit me. If you need me, call somebody else. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, Cancer. Alright, Cancer. Let's see what are some challenges with working with this energy. Cancer, let's see what else we got here. Alright, Cancer, so you have the Page of Cups, the Strength card, the Eight of Crystals, and then the Five of Wands here. And I feel like, Cancer, with this Eight of Crystals, Five of Wands energy, it kind of feels like that we want to just be mindful of getting ourselves caught in like. This one gives me more so kind of like in the pleasing of others, being the first to just like, it's like everyone is it's like these hands here are all handing you problems here, Cancer. And it almost feels like that we've almost trapped ourselves into this sense of like obligation, maybe, or something along those lines, where, and it's not that it feels like that these people are using you per se. It's more so that you want to be almost like the superhero, the one who does have the strength, the mother, the one who, that you can always count on, mom, to get things done. And that is true, Cancer, but even mama needs a break. And I feel that the challenge is starting to beginning to really think about your feelings, and it's like, I don't feel like that it's one of those things, Cancer. I feel like that it's not, I'm not even getting that this is something maybe that even happens often, but when it does, being mindful of when you are getting wrapped up in it, you know what I mean? Because there can be it's like an inherent need to want to alleviate any sort of suffering or anything along those lines, and that's beautiful, Cancer. But it's just keeping having that water energy like that available. That is it is a lovely gift there, Cancer, and it's something that does need to be nurtured. It's nurturing, and it needs to be nurtured as well. So, because the Page of Cups, this always gives me very kind of Pisces energy type of vibes, and Pisces is very sensitive to the collective. They're practically psychic, and but their energies are affected. We're affected in very similar ways, and I feel like I feel like Scorpio's the one who has like the least trust of the three, but Cancer is probably second, but I do feel that there is a need to just being aware of how we can give to others, because Pisces is very much about the collective, and so are we, Cancer. And really more so Pisces about the soul tribe, and we're about the family, Cancer. All right, Cancer. I like that. Let's get some advice from Mercury. Cancer, I was thinking with us having only a couple more days for our birthday season, like every Cancer should have like, I don't know, like a last day festival or something like that. Ha! Ha! I love it. Cancer, look at you're thinking the same thing I am. Because you got you got the Flower of Life here, which sidebar, this is one of the special major arcanas in this deck. And this one, there's two. There's this one, and then the other one is the Self card. And I think I might have told you this, Cancer, because we just got this not too long ago. It's like the Self card is the one about self, and this one's more about the soul tribe, that universal bond there, Cancer. So I'm doubling down on what I just said. Every Cancerian on the last day of Cancer season, let's just do something nice for ourselves. Whatever that's looking like, Cancer. But you got the Seven of Wands here, the Knight of Wands, and then the Flower of Life. All right, Cancer. And let's switch back over. Because Cancer, with the Flower of Life here, and again, I don't feel like that this happens often, but if this does, Cancer, where you do find yourself giving to others, or maybe even to like a situation or something where it's just like, again, it's depleting your energy, and this could be something too. Even thinking with the Seven of Wands, this is something again where we might criticize ourselves into kind of doing this thing, feeling like it's like our obligation, or it's our if I don't do it, then who will? You know what I mean, Cancer? And with that type of mentality, who I would love to see who would too, because there are some times where I feel like it's like we do a lot. We do a lot sometimes, Cancer. Actually, at my side gig, I actually work with a few Cancers, and it's it's interesting, Cancer. But I do feel that sometimes it is fine, Cancer, to just like take a step back, to not always be that one to kind of just rush to the forefront there, to be the hero, to be the And listen, Cancer, I know sometimes it happens. If you need to step in, sometimes you do need to be the leader sometimes, with the Strength card being here, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like that it's this sense of balance, and remembering to as well with this, to protect your energies, because you see they got these 6 wands coming here, and she's got her one that she's defending herself with. There's going to always be something where life will ask a lot of you, and it's just like, where do we want to, just be mindful of where you want to give it to, Cancer. So I like that. I think I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if because I feel like that's like a thing we all do from time to time, just like, I feel like everyone, maybe, possibly, but I feel like water signs in particular, maybe again, it'd be a fight between us and Pisces, but just if you notice that, Cancer, maybe share this, and then have all you Cancer, and subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And then as the group grows, I'm going to start doing different meditations, like guided meditations, and affirmations and binaural beats, things along those lines. So maybe do something like where manifesting abundance with the Wheel of Fortune. I don't remember if I gave that to the King of Pentacles. We gotta reconvene with that. Finding confidence with the Strength card. Something along those lines, Cancer. So definitely check that out. And then lastly, let's check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury. You got Jupiter here. You got Mars. You know, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. Alright, Cancer. And you know, you got the Five of Crystals here. And I almost feel like with this, Cancer, and listen, it's I feel that with, when I was talking about with that maybe some of us might guilt ourselves into, or believing ourselves, like guilt trip ourselves or something into thinking that if we don't do these things, then everyone will be disappointed in us. This is what I feel like is happening right here, right now. It's like this is what we're picturing in our head. Like these people are just like, oh no, Cancer, how could you? And it's never really that big of a deal, Cancer. It may be just like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. And it's just like, yeah. Well, see ya. And you just give it, and then you Chariot, Cancer. You keep it moving. But I do feel like that if you do get to this place where maybe if there is this like opinion or something along those lines where, you know, maybe, I don't know what that would be, Cancer, but you know, boundaries. Like that would be, because that's not fair, Cancer, to always be expected to do that, you know, to rise above like that. And it's your energy too. You got to think about your vitality with the Strength card being here, and always, even when the Strength card's not here, Cancer. And then you got the interesting. Okay, you got the Cacao card here, which is the 38th card. Is the Initiation card. This is ruled by Uranus and Venus. And I feel like with this card here, Cancer, it's almost like we're going through like an initiation of, like, you know, changing up how we've maybe been operating if we've been doing something like this. Maybe you've been that yes person. It's just like now you're practicing, you know what, where it is nice to say yes sometimes, you know, because even just thinking with just with this combination here, you got Jupiter here and you got Leo here, the Strength card. That is a lot of energy as a placement. It's a lot, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily needed to be used like that all the time. You know what I mean? I feel like it's one thing to give, you know, and to want to give, but to feel obligated, to feel forced to give, that's a whole other thing, type of thing, Cancer, you know? There's a difference there, and I feel that there is going to be this, just think about Uranus and Venus, there's going to be this change in how we may think about relationships, but I feel like it's going to be more so of a free type of energy here, Cancer, and I do think that just thinking with that, it's just like something is along lines here, just even too, just like we're going to become more alert to this type of when we are doing this, and just making sure too, considering we got Moon and Virgo energy here, to make sure to check with our well-being as well. So I like that, Cancer. I'm gonna leave it there. So you stay safe out there, doing all the things all the time there. And keep eyes on the Moon, where she's still, the energy's the line, you know, Moon's still a little slim right now, but you know, eventually we'll be able to see her too. But you know, meditate with her, she'll appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.